Graduation ceremony with Gary Reichman, who tells KTLA he worked with Carlin for many years.
It's tough, but we're here for them, for that family.
Carlin's daughter wore her dad's firefighting jacket as she accepted her diploma. Detectives say Tuesday's fatal shooting by one of Carlin's co-workers was the result of a workplace dispute that had escalated over time. Last year's NBA champs are out of the playoffs. It's the first time the Lakers star LeBron James got the boot in the first round of the postseason. The Lakers lost last night to the Suns and the Dodgers. We're talking about the Dodger dog. Now comes in a meatless option, which some around here are not happy with. The Dodgers have partnered with the Field Roast Company to create the plant-based signature stadium dog. The hot dog is a peed protein frank that is smoked with maple hardwood chips to recreate the ballpark flavor. The vegan Dodger dog will be available at select concession stands and at suites at Dodger Stadium. Let's take a look at your drive now on the 5.
In Boynton Park on the 5 southbound on Kyushu Boulevard had a wreck here with a big rig in a car. They were blocking the right lane, just moved them over to the right shoulder. You're still going to have some slow stuff going on from about Rosecrans, trying to recover from that crash. KFI in the Sky is sponsored by injury attorney SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Jeff Bach, collision on the 405.
You betcha. Boy, we tried flying. Didn't get very far. Couldn't see the ground. But here we go. South 405 now coming out from the 118. A problem in between Sherman Way and Victory. Has the fast lane blocked. Fast no more, that's for sure. It's really slow from a little bit before Sherman Way. By the way, if you want to use Sepulveda Boulevard, still in pretty good shape. Actually, very good shape, really, down to the 101. So your call at that point. Once you get past the 101 on the freeway itself, though, and go up over the hill, you'll be okay. Eastbound 101, that's looking good. The 134 is getting real slow now, going towards the 170. That starts at about Coanga, but so far, all lanes open. Injured in an accident, visit SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, KFI in the Sky.
In Downey on the 105 westbound at Lakewood Boulevard, that's a wreck that's over to the right shoulder. A little bit of spotty traffic behind it from the 605. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
Neil Saavedra here. About 3 years ago, my wife and I called American Vision Windows. They installed gorgeous French doors for us, changed the flow of our home, added architectural appeal. The next project they're doing, our kitchen windows. We can't wait. Their work is meticulous. It's outstanding. I recommended them to my brother, Craig, and now he and his family have a lovely window encased patio, added 150 sunny square feet to their home. We all know Bill and Kathleen's story. They had a horrible experience replacing their own windows. They started their own company. Fast forward 20 years later, they continue to beautify homes like mine with personal care, complete professionalism, and attention. CSLB number 778326. Give you and your home the gift of light, warmth, and beauty. Trust the window company my family trusts. American Vision Windows. You'll see the difference. Call American Vision Windows today for that free estimate, 888-226-9908. That's 888-226-9908. Or for specials, visit AmericanVisionWindows.com.
Masks don't slow us down. They keep us moving. From the corner store to the coffee shop, on your bike, or on the playground. Keep wearing a snug-fitting mask with multiple cloth layers. Together, we can end this pandemic. Visit covid19.ca.gov today to learn more. Brought to you by the Center at Sierra Health Foundation.
Your KFI Financial Report is brought to you by Bay Alarm. The Dow is up 86, S&P up 26, NASDAQ up 165. Gold is $18.93 an ounce, and oil is $69.59 a barrel.
The KFI Money Report is brought to you by Bay Alarm, now offering virtual security consultations using your mobile phone. Visit bayalarm.com to get protected today.
SoCal weather from KFI. Highs today will be in the mid-60s at the coast, right at 80 for Metro LA and OC, right at 90 for the valleys and the IE. Take that through Saturday, and then by Sunday, we'll cool it down into the upper 70s to low 80s through the first part of next week. Right now, it's 57 in Laguna Beach, 58 in Lake Forest, 60 in Pasadena and in Santa Clarita. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Tell me why you make things so complicated. I see the way you're acting like you're somebody else gets me frustrated.
Eric Shannon, KFI AM
AM 640 live everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app on this Friday. Welcome to June 4th now.
U.S. employers added a modest 559K jobs in May, an improvement from April's sluggish gain, but still evidence that many companies are struggling to find enough workers as the economy rapidly recovers from the shutdowns.
The countdown clock for the Tokyo Olympics hit 50 days to go. I think we're at 49 days to go as of today, but there are around 80,000 volunteers who have signed up for the Olympics and the Paralympics. About 10,000 of them quit. They said they're not going to have anything to do with it. Most of the volunteers do not need to be vaccinated, since most of those volunteers would not have any interaction with athletes or other key personnel.
Police in South Florida have announced Operation Summer Heat to combat escalating gun violence. Miami-Dade law enforcement agencies announced the campaign as a third person died from a gunshot wound during a mass shooting outside a banquet hall over the weekend. Somebody dug up an old tweet from Devin Booker.
Uh-oh.
That's what your initial reaction is now, right? It's actually a good one.
It's usually outrage archaeology where someone goes to find something that they can be mad about.
Right. No, this is actually really cute because it was a tweet from 2012, and a 16-year-old Devin Booker said, "Can't wait to go to LeBron camp."
And LeBron, was it him that he gave the signed out jersey to?
Yes.
All right, so yesterday, the much-anticipated meeting of the Standards Board at California's Division of Occupational Safety and Health, Cal OSHA, they were getting together to come up with new workplace rules when it comes to COVID and masks. And they said originally, we don't like these rules. We think there's more work to be done. So they voted not to adopt the new rules. By the way, the clock is ticking because June 15th should be called Personal Responsibility Day, but that's the day that Governor Newsom has suggested that a lot of the masks, regulations, and mandates can be done away with for vaccinated people. Then they realized, the Standards Board at Cal OSHA, oh crap, if we don't adopt these new rules, we're stuck with the old rules, which say everybody in every workplace, regardless of your vaccination status, must continue to wear masks, and that would conflict with what the governor wants to do.
If the people are not vaccinated, and as we mentioned before, who has the right to ask you if you're vaccinated at your workplace? Your employer is banned from asking about health issues, if I'm familiar with the laws.
Right.
I don't know what the rules are with coworkers, but I don't think people are just offering up that information about themselves. Not everybody wants to be honest about if they're vaccinated or not. And then what are you going to do if you find out, for instance, that you and I are not wearing our masks in this building right now because we've been working together for a year and change and we're both vaccinated in the whole bit, but we haven't really talked about it with everybody here. What is the state going to do? Are they going to come in here and arrest us?
Shut it down.
Fine us? And then on our way home, the state says we're allowed to pick up a to-go cocktail so I can have an open container in my car, but I can't not wear a mask with the vast majority of my coworkers vaccinated? I mean, let's pick what's safe and what's not in a more responsible manner.
Right. And let's have somebody do an actual risk analysis. Let's do just a tiny, tiny bit of math here to figure out if you are unvaccinated and you work with people who are vaccinated. First of all, the chances of you getting COVID after you've been vaccinated, I know that the headline screams something else, but when you look at the actual numbers, it's minuscule. Minuscule in terms of the breakthrough cases that have been detected. It's minuscule. And the chances of me, say I'm vaccinated and I have tested positive, the chances of me giving you COVID are even smaller than that. So if in terms of just the math on this, they're going way overboard when it comes to the regulations. So what they did was they realized that if they rejected the proposal, they were going to go back to the more arcane, draconian rules. So they did accept these proposals, but they do have a 3-person subcommittee, because God knows you need a subcommittee that can go through and alter some of these rules.
To me, the biggest key is Gavin Newsom, as the governor of the great state of California, can override what Cal OSHA Standards Board sets. And what he's sitting on is a golden ticket, because all he has to do is allow Cal OSHA to come up with these arbitrary, ridiculous, draconian rules about who wears masks and who doesn't, and who tickles and who doesn't. And Gavin Newsom can then say, you guys, I think I'm going to allow us all to take a little bit more personal responsibility than we have to this point, and I'm going to do away with the mask mandates in workplaces for the vast majority of those in California.
I don't know
and
if
then
that's...
he looks like the hero.
Yeah, I don't know, though, in California, if he does look like the hero. I don't think that's politically palatable. I really don't. I think more people in California want to keep their masks on.
But
Or
those
at
people,
least a 60-40 in favor of masks.
but those people are not going to then try to sign on to the recall because of that move. What he
No.
would try to do is try to tamp down the fire of the recall because of the way he's handled it up to this point.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, that would appease the people that would be more likely to vote for the recall.
And
Steve, go ahead.
I was just going to say, think about this. Your point about, we don't get to we don't get to know necessarily unless somebody voluntarily tells us who's vaccinated and who's not and why or whatever. What about you work in a larger environment? I mean, I don't know what workplace or room, how it constitutes, because we have different areas of our building here that are large rooms where you could have 25 or 30 people in a room. If one person is unvaccinated, then everybody in that room has to wear a mask. Could you imagine if it turns out you're trying to figure out, is it Leslie?
Oh, yeah.
Is it Roy? It's probably Roy. No, you know what it is? It's Bill. Bill is the one who chooses not to get vaccinated.
Stephen Hirschfeld is a San Francisco employment lawyer, and he is seizing on your point right there. I mean, he is getting ready. He says that masking requirements could stigmatize unvaccinated people. Employees, he says, will be pissed off, wondering whose fault it is that they have to wear a mask. And it could set up a situation where they try to figure out who is unvaccinated and give them a hard time. And if that is the case, that is grounds for a lawsuit against the employer.
Sure.
Because you're being bullied or you are being retaliated against. It could just create so many landmines for businesses.
June 15th, I think it needs to be called Personal Responsibility Day.
I don't think anyone's going to have personal responsibility. I mean, they're going to have their to-go cocktails in the car. They're going to be licking each other. It's going to be crazy.
But if you're threatened by this, if you feel unsafe, if you don't want to go to a restaurant, if you don't want to go to a movie theater, then take the personal responsibility, take care of yourself and your family and those people who may be at risk, and leave me the F alone and let me live my life. Because I did get vaccinated. I have been good. I have been careful.
Did you get Dodgers tickets for that?
Okay, no. Allegedly, statewide, anybody who's been vaccinated up to this point is still eligible for those monies. I think tonight is the first time they're going to draw money. So if you've been vaccinated, regardless of when you got it, you are supposed to be eligible.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Supposed to be. I don't know how it's going to work for sure.
All right, coming up next, Florida, they never instituted a public mask mandate. How did they fare? We'll get into it when we come back.
Gary and Shannon will continue in for Handle today. An update on the news, Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Well, it looks like the CEO of Tesla is affecting the price of cryptocurrency markets again. This time, Bitcoin dropped 4% after tweets by Elon Musk. The governor of North Carolina is being asked to push for a federal investigation into the shooting of Andrew Brown Jr. Civil rights activists met with him yesterday. And a new survey says Monopoly is the board game most likely to start a fight on game night. We'll take a look at your drive with the Kfi in the sky next.
If you've ever had to get out of your house for whatever reason, I mean, there's a time element sometimes. You're moving, you're downsizing. Maybe there's some financial issues or divorce or a place that you inherited that you don't necessarily want to keep.
Such a hassle.
It's a hassle without the time element.
Right, and then you've got people walking through the house, touching your underwear and the whole bit. What if you could sell your home for a fair price without any of that hassle?
You're not wearing it at the time, are you?
Sometimes you don't know what people are into.
What if you could sell it without the appraisal? You pay no commission, you pay no fees. And what if you could get paid in cash fast, like within 10 days?
There are so many options out there, but you need to work with a local company, not a national call center, a local family-owned business that you can trust, and that is exactly what directbuyers.com is.
Local, family-owned. They've been around since 1986. This isn't some place that just popped up. And we've talked with Janet and Matt over lunch, over phone calls. Wonderful people. They care about their clients, and they're people that you can absolutely trust.
Right, and you have access to speak directly to the owners as well, just like we did. There are a lot of bad actors out there. Don't sell your home until you talk to directbuyers.com. See what they can offer you. They will give you an honest, no-obligation offer.
directbuyers.com. That's directbuyers.com. 844-242-SELL. 844-242-SELL. directbuyers.com.
SoCal weather from KFI. A sunny day ahead with highs in the mid-60s to right at 90. Let's take a look at your drive on the 22.
The 22 westbound at Euclid, that's a two-car wreck. Made it over to the right shoulder. Little patchy slowing for you for the approach, and then the drive picks up speed pretty quickly. KFI in the Sky is sponsored by injury attorney Superwoman, Superlawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, wreck on the 14.
Yeah, good conditions didn't last long coming through Santa Maria. South 14, a little bit past Golden Valley. Carpool lane is blocked, and I'm sure you know what that means. At times, all are going to be about to get it out of your way. And the 14 is really starting to back up now from just a little bit past Via Princesa, but building rather quickly. After that, though, you'll be okay. Now, once in the San Fernando Valley, we had some problems, or still do, actually. South 405 in between Sherman Way and Victory with the carpool and center divider block. Once you get past the 101, things are pretty good uphill. And real quick, from our Valley Village desk here, I can see this actually. There's a car fire blazing away just off the 101 at Laurel Canyon. So be careful getting off that ramp. It's real busy there. Injured in an accident, visit Superwoman, Superlawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, KFI in the Sky.
Crash in Colton on the 10 westbound at Pepper. It's in the center divider. Slows you down, though, at Mount Vernon. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Danks.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The new Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed is the only bed that effortlessly adjusts and responds to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. Save $1,000 on the new Sleep Number 360 Special Edition Smart Bed. Queen now $17.99. Plus free premium delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Don't spend more than you have to on your mobile service. Spectrum Mobile could save you up to 40% versus what you're paying now, and nationwide 5G is included in every data plan. Plus, Spectrum delivers the fastest overall speeds and has the most reliable mobile service, coast to coast, with no hidden taxes, fees, or contracts. Visit SpectrumMobile.com today. 40% savings based on a comparison of single and comparable unlimited plans amongst major national carriers as of 1/27/2021. Fastest overall speed, most reliable, based on Nielsen speed test, latest FCC report, and route metrics.
Real estate is one of the most tax-efficient investments and a great way to diversify your portfolio. But the hassles and costs of managing properties is about as much fun as having a root canal. Hi, Greg Hughes here with Hughes Private Capital, a real estate investment company. We pay our investors a set monthly income which is backed by the strength and safety of our portfolio of over 1,000 homes in the most stable real estate markets in the U.S. And the best part? You won't have any landlord frustrations or expenses. And talk about tax-efficient investment. Most of our investors don't pay taxes for the first 9 years of their investment with us. We also offer a 1031 exchange option where you can sell your investment property tax-free and become an investor with Hughes Private Capital. And with today's interest rates being so low, now's the best time to leverage your investment and earn a 17% return. To find out more, go to nolandlordproblems.com. That's nolandlordproblems.com. Or call us at 888-300-9393. That's 888-300-9393.
Want to sell your valuable coins, high-end jewelry, collectibles, or fine art for more? Here's someone who will tell you why you should call Tangible Investments.
Hi, my name is Allie Eastburn, and I'm the founder of With This Ring.
With This Ring is Allie's charity.
About 11 years ago, I realized that the ring on my finger could literally save an entire village in Africa. So I donated that ring, and now we have rings coming in to our organization from women and men all over the world.
So who buys Allie's donated rings?
Tangible Investments. Our ring donors send our rings directly to Tangible Investments, and they give us more money for those rings than anyone else ever has.
With Sill's help, Allie is changing the world.
It helps us do what we do best, which is drilling clean water wells in Liberia, Africa.
Tangible Investments owner Sill D. Genova has become America's top dealer in coins, precious metals, jewelry, and fine art. Sill guarantees you'll get more.
Thanks so much, Sill and Tangible Investments, for all you've done for us.
Call now for a no-obligation free professional appraisal. 800-711-2800. 800-711-2800. 800-711-2800.
Hey, it's Deborah Mark, news anchor on the John and Ken Show. Do you want to sell your house or condo fast and easy with no headaches? All you have to do is call Seller's Advantage. They will buy your home as is for cash. And the best part is you don't have to hold those open houses. So no strangers will be walking through your home. That can be kind of scary, having people you don't know hanging out in your house, touching your stuff. That really makes me uncomfortable. There are also no realtor fees or commissions, no escrow fees, and you don't have to repair a thing. Damon and Doug from Seller's Advantage just bought a house from one of our KFI listeners. The owner wanted to sell his house. He met with a couple of real estate agents and then with Seller's Advantage. He compared the numbers and he got the best deal with Seller's Advantage. So if you're thinking about selling your home, call Seller's Advantage and see how much your house is worth. Call now for your free quote. Call 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-AS-IS. That's 888-321-AS-IS, or go to sellersadvantage.com. BRE number 01961658.
I hear someone go, didn't it come from you guys?
Strangers cough at me.
Move away from me.
Someone spit towards my direction. All the stereotypes that we've worked so hard to break are just going to be reversed. And I won't let that happen.
We all have to play our part.
I donate my plasma.
I've been making math.
We deserve respect as much as everybody else.
I'm a nurse.
I'm a delivery woman, chef, a neighbor, artist.
Bus driver. I'm a doctor. Fight the bias. Fight the bias.
Help stop the spread of anti-Asian racism by visiting iHeartRadio.com/FightTheBias. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels, the Ad Council, and iHeartRadio.
KFI AM 640.
iHeart radio station.
24-hour news. More stimulating talk.
Wait a minute. Fill my cup. Put some nigga in it. Take a sip. Sign the check. Julio, get the stretch.
Gary and Shannon. Gary Hoffman, Shannon Farron in for Bill Handel this morning.
The UFO report. So the New York Times says that according to senior administration officials briefed on this highly anticipated government report on unidentified aerial phenomena.
Would we say highly anticipated?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
People are going crazy about it. That there's no evidence that these weird things that these Navy pilots have been seeing are alien spacecraft. But there's also no evidence that they're not. They said they can't explain the unusual movements. There is a possibility that this did not originate from any American military or advanced U.S. government technology. But if that were the case, would the government tell the pilots that it was our stuff that they were working on?
Of course not. Of course not. The government lying to you by omission? No.
And now the government lying to the government.
A magnitude 5.9 earthquake struck off the coast of Oregon early today. Aftershocks included another 5.9 quake. That always stresses me out, right? That there's that potential. The USGS says there's no threat of a tsunami or damage to the coast. Happened, looks like in the middle of the night, about 1 a.m.
I was really surprised when I read through this article from Vox. They have tended to be very, very equivocal when it comes to masks always work. Florida and California did it right. Texas and Florida is a bunch of rubes when it comes to their COVID response statewide. But this line from the third paragraph in this story says, you look at the case and the death numbers since coronavirus began, it's not obvious which states were cautious and which were not. So the question is, and again, we won't know the answer to this. You can feel it, but we won't know the answer to this question for some time. Did any of these state policies really matter?
Did they make a difference?
Yeah. Or was this thing just going to spread no matter what?
It was going to spread no matter what. It was going to spread no matter what. And, they tried to get a handle on it, and kudos to them. But the problem that I've had with this all along, and I think that you share this problem as well, is if the public health experts, leaders came out and said, we don't know how to combat this,
we think that the masks are working. We think they're a great idea. We're not really sure. We're in uncharted territory here. But they came out with all the arbitrary rules. They locked us down. They shut down businesses, and they couldn't really show us the science behind that. New York, the original epicenter of the outbreak, has endured the second most deaths per capita behind New Jersey. Florida and Texas, despite much of the criticism of their laissez-faire approaches, rank right in the middle among states, 26th and 24th, respectively. Florida and Texas were the open season
from early on.
California fared only marginally better than Florida and Texas at 30th. Now, when you look at population, you got to get into those details. But Florida, think about who lives in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of old people.
Yeah.
A lot of the people this thing was taking its toll on.
It's interesting because they do go on to say, according to available research and interviews, one policy, indoor masking, appears to have successfully slowed transmission. But other things, specifically school closures, they point out, did not appear to have nearly any effect on these cases. Now, again, the issue is this is not LA County. This is not a small geographic area with packed full of people. You're talking about the entire United States, where it came in the Northeast, it hit California in the South later. We all peaked, within weeks of each other, but for the most part, this was a hugely different pandemic from coast to coast.
I do believe that California could have been hit a lot harder had we not put some of the precautions in place, because we live on top of each other more than they do in Florida and Texas, especially in places like LA County. We are very close living quarters, and so I can see where it would be a complete disaster had we not done anything. But they also took their states into consideration when it comes to how much space you have between your neighbors in a place like Texas.
Yeah. One of the things that's not in this article was something called the Hope-Simpson curve. It's named after a couple doctors who looked at flu viruses and respiratory viruses and how they're transmitted at different times of the year, specifically dealing with solar radiation and solar radiation's effect on bugs like COVID. And they said that every single pattern, if you were to break it down by state, if you were to include all the states together in an amalgamation, that they all follow this seasonal Hope-Simpson curve where it peaks in December, January, like we saw. There's a little bit of a bump in June, a bigger bump in the fall, and then that peak once again in late winter. Every flu, every respiratory illness, all of them follow that curve.
Right. And
that also goes to this potential question of, did any of the state policies matter, or was this thing just going to virus?
Burn itself out.
It's just virus. That's what it does. That's how they live.
All right, coming up next, F. Lee Bailey has died, the star of OJ's Dream Team, the master strategizer. We'll get into some of his greatest hits and lowest hits when we come back.
And wait, we got to hear what OJ says, right?
Well, you knew he had to weigh in.
Gary and Shannon will continue in for Handle. Jennifer Jones-Lee in the newsroom.
A court's dismissed a lawsuit that claimed the Orange County DA's office was coercing DNA from low-level defendants for a unique database.
The Orange County DA's office says a murderer and a rapist and thousands of investigative tips are all thanks to the database, which holds more than 182,000 profiles and is the only in the nation that's run by prosecutors. The lawsuit brought by a UC Irvine law clinic claims prosecutors trick people into giving up their rights for a lighter sentence on an already low-level offense, and only 1% of samples provide matches. A judge ruled the lawsuit did not prove the database has no public value or that people are being coerced because plea offers can always be rejected by the defendant or the court. In Orange County, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
A man from Riverside faces 7 years in prison for kicking and slashing a Chihuahua puppy in a video that was posted online. Court records show Angel Corrales says he's cold-hearted in the video from February. Then he shows the puppy with a slash to the neck, then kicks the dog. Cops say they found the guy with fresh blood on him. The puppy couldn't be saved. Corrales could get up to 7 years in prison when he's sentenced in August. O.J. Simpson has paid tribute to one of the lawyers on his Dream Team who helped get an acquittal in his double murder trial. Simpson says F. Lee Bailey was a great friend, a smart man, and perhaps the best lawyer of our time.
He was the one lawyer that every morning came into this little lock-up cell that they used to have me in before the trials and talk to me and tell me what to expect that day.
Gary and Shannon will talk more about this in just a few minutes. The Old Globe Theater in San Diego is set to reopen for the first time since closing because of the pandemic. Both virtual and in-person performances are scheduled throughout the summer. An SUV has ended up on a golf course in Newton, Massachusetts. The driver was led astray by his GPS app early Wednesday morning. Guess it was still dark. He got stuck on the 6th hole. Police in Hong Kong have arrested one of the organizers of the annual candlelight vigil to remember those killed by China's military in the massacre at Tiananmen Square in Beijing. Hong Kong University Student Union President Charles Kwok says students will observe the anniversary at the Pillar of Shame, a sculpture memorial to the protesters killed on this day in 1989.
By holding the event, we hope to commemorate the people who sacrificed for freedom and democracy.
The protests in Beijing were held by students. The estimated death toll ranges from several hundred to several thousand. And a woman has gotten her wallet back, but it's more of a time capsule now.
Does anyone know Colleen Dustin? That's what Tom Stevens posted on social media after finding a wallet at the Majestic Ventura Theater. Stevens had been doing some remodeling work on the historic theater when he found it in a crawl space along with some candy bar wrappers, ticket stubs, and soda cans. The wallet looked about 46 years old with some old photos, a concert ticket for the Grateful Dead in 1973, and an expired in 1976 California driver's license. The social media post worked within a couple hours, and Dustin, who still lives in Ventura, got her wallet back. She did say there was a $200 check in there when she lost it, so what's up with that? Michael Crozier, KFI News.
Let's check a crash on the 10.
It's going to be in Colton on the 10 westbound at Pepper Avenue. Wreck there in the center divider, but it is giving you some grief right around Mount Vernon for your drive. KFI in the Sky is sponsored by injury attorney SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, update on the 14.
Yeah, sadly, a little bit of grief here coming. If you're leaving Acton now, there's going to be some delays. Cell 14 around Golden Valley. The crash still working, actually, and the backup now has grown to Sand Canyon. Now, that's a couple of ramps, so it's going to slow you down, that's for sure. Once you get through that, though, a pretty good drop to Newhall Pass. As a matter of fact, the merge with the South 5 is just about wide open. Now, driving the westbound 101, I just want to warn you, there was a car on a blaze on Laurel Canyon right off the off-ramp from the westbound 101. So you can make the ramp. Fire department's moving right now, but it's a little busy. The westbound drive after that, well, it's not too bad over to the 405. It's a little slow getting there from the 134, but you'll be okay on the San Diego Freeway. Injured in an accident, visit SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, KFI in the Sky.
In Riverside, 91 westbound, just before La Sierra, somebody broke down here. They're right smack dab in the middle. Middle traffic lane is blocked, so your trip is delayed right around Den Buren. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
Do you hold back from smiling in public? Do you not eat foods that you used to enjoy before your teeth went missing? Or they've gotten very loose and you're afraid of spitting them out on your dinner plate? If you have missing teeth, broken teeth, you have irritating dentures that drive you crazy, Cunning Dental can change your life with new permanent teeth. They've been rebuilding smiles for over 52 years, and their teeth-in-a-day procedure will give you a beautiful new smile. Every tooth the right size, the right shape, the right color. They look and feel like natural teeth. You can smile and eat with total confidence again, and the procedure really is done in one day. Call now and make your free appointment that includes an exam, x-rays, and a CT scan. That's a $1,500 value. And leave Cunning Dental with a new full set of natural-looking teeth. Call Cunning right now. 888-640-SMILE. 888-640-SMILE. 888-640-SMILE.
SoCal weather from KFI. It's a sunny Friday with highs mid-60s at the coast, right at 80 for Metro LA and OC, right at 90 for the valleys in the IE. That's your forecast for Saturday. Cooling it down into the upper 70s, low 80s for Sunday. We'll stay that way through about Wednesday of next week, but then warm it up right near 90 again by next weekend. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Looking for your next investment? Want to cash out of stock market risk and volatility? Here are 8 reasons to consider NRIA's Proven Real Estate Development Fund. Monthly cash flow payouts of 10% annualized and bonuses to 21% targeted. We strategically locate in lower risk, high demand areas people are moving to. New construction is short on supply. Real estate affords diversification and safety from stock market
market risk and volatility. We have substantial property assets selling out every month supporting your investment. Our short and long-term strategy provides for steady returns today and major upside targets. Our buildings are socially responsible, environmentally friendly, and pandemic hardened. We are an industry leader with a 15-year proven track record. Hedge against inflation and receive steady cash flow. Start your due diligence at nria.net or call 800-800-1414. That's 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, who's this?
Who's this? It's your Auntie June.
Oh, what's up, Auntie?
Your drum group. Were you practicing last night?
Yeah.
It's a little quiet.
What?
How many people are in it?
6.
Ah, I thought so. It did not sound like it last night. Sounded like dog water.
What's that supposed to mean?
Ah, jokes, Sonny, jokes. But let me just say, we could definitely tell there was a 6 of you.
Well, only 3 of us got the COVID-19 vaccine, so we had to do what we could.
Ah, well, as the leader of the group, you need to be that positive influence and help them all get vaccinated. Maybe give them a ride to the appointment, or a call reminding them.
Yeah, you're right. I'll let the others know. The vaccines are safe and effective. Plus, anyone 12 and older is eligible to get vaccinated now.
Attaboy. Now start making those calls before I do.
No way. I'm on it.
We can do this. Go to vaccines.gov to find vaccines near you. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Live,
KFI,
local,
AM 640.
an iHeart radio station.